Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pranam. Prabhu, we are not able to hear you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, your voice is not audible.
Audible? Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu. Now you are.
Oh, Krishna.
Now it is on.
You're told no? Okay. Okay, so I read the verse 5.5.14. So now I'm recapping all the teachings that Lord Ṛṣabhadeva has given his sons so far. My dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance, tapodivyam, and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains his position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. It is applicable for all grihasthas. Should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification. Already in the first canto only we read this. We should just work as a matter of duty, and that is also if it is required, meaning for maintenance of our family. If it is required that we work, then we should work, otherwise there is no need to work. This is also something that many devotees actually they are so from their pious activities from previous life, they are so fortunate that they have enough money to actually run their family, but still they work and waste valuable human life, right? And of course that spending the time for anything apart from Krishna is anyway waste of time. In addition, if it is used for sense gratification, it is further waste of time, because that sense gratification is available even for hogs and dogs. So what should one do? One should engage in penance and austerity to attain devotional service, attain the divine position of devotional service, meaning the position of pure devotion, Krishna prema. One should engage in penance and austerity. So many times many devotees are saying that, okay, what will I do? I mean, if I don't work, what should I do throughout the day? Read Srimad Bhagavatam, chant Hare Krishna, go distribute books, do preaching. So many things one can do in devotion, right? So that is all penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified. So when we engage in devotional activities, every devotional activity purifies our heart. Even any activity that we do should be for purification. Any activity that we do should be for our purification. There shouldn't be any other intention, because by that purification we will come to this divine position. And one attains this when one attains this divine position, which is of devotional service. So by doing devotional activity, one's heart becomes purified. Then one comes to the divine position, and then he attains eternal blissful life. And this blissful life is transcendental to material happiness, because this is also bliss. This is also bliss, but this is material bliss. This is actually eternal spiritual bliss. And this eternal blissful life continues forever, not like material happiness, which is short-lived. So very clear. If you don't have to work, don't work. If you work, don't work for sense gratification. Focus should be on devotional life. And by such activity, our heart becomes purified. Then we attain the divine position. Then we attain eternal blissful life. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. Now, what is this process of devotion? So we have to render service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. Highly advanced. Note this. These personalities are of two types, impersonalists and devotees. Impersonalists also are highly advanced, just that they're not Mayavadis. So here Ṛṣabhadeva is not talking about Mayavadis. He's talking about impersonalists who are also highly advanced, just that they are stuck in the Brahman stage. They have not heard about the Bhagavan stage, personal form of the Lord. Initially Shaunaka, Sukadeva Goswami, then the Kumaras, they were all impersonalists, but they were not Mayavadis. So when they came in touch with devotees, they actually became devotees. So they're also great personalities, and one should render service to such highly advanced spiritual personalities. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence with his impersonalism, or wants to associate with the person of Godhead, which is Bhakti, one should render service to the Mahatmas, these great, highly advanced spiritual personalities. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. So if you don't want to render such service, engage in devotion, etc., and we associate with people who are fond of women and sex, path to hell is wide open. And who are these Mahatmas? They are equipoised. That is discussed in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. Na sochati na kankshati. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu. This is samas sarveshu bhuteshu. No sochati na kankshati. So they are very peaceful. Mad Bhakti, they are engaged in my devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. So this is the work of a Mahatma. Equipoised, treat every jiva equally, remain peaceful, engage in devotion, devoid of anger, work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. So this also we've heard, devotion in the mode of ignorance, devotion in the mode of passion, devotion in the mode of goodness. But one who is a Mahatma, he behaves, his activities are all on the transcendental platform, so he's not affected by the modes. Only when one is affected by the modes does he or she behave in an abominable way. Various types of abominable actions. For those who are in the mode of passion, there's different abominable actions. Those in ignorance, different abominable actions. Generally, goodness, there should not be any abominable actions. And those who have transcended goodness also, definitely no abominable action. Such people are known as Mahatmas. Those who are interested in reviving Krishna consciousness and increasing their love of Godhead do not like to do anything that is not related to Krishna. So it's a very clear instruction. We should always engage in doing something which is related to Krishna. Who will do that? Who was interested in reviving their Krishna consciousness and increasing their love of Godhead. They're not interested in mingling with people who are busy maintaining their bodies, meaning non-devotees, who are just interested in maintaining their bodies, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. They're not interested in mingling. They'll avoid as much as possible. Also, they're not attached to their homes. Although they may be householders, they're just doing everything as a matter of duty. They're not attached to wives, children, friends, or wealth also. At the same time, they're not indifferent to their duties. They'll do their duties, but they're not interested in any of this. They're interested only in reviving Krishna consciousness and increasing their love of God. Such people are interested in collecting only enough money to keep body and soul together. Yeah, so yeah, if for somebody they don't have enough money to take care of their body, to keep their body and souls together, they're interested in only collecting so much money. Of course, I mean, these are all, like I keep saying, to how to implement these in our own lives, we have to take expert guidance of gurus. Like we've discussed time and again, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. we shouldn't take these decisions ourselves independently unless we are very spiritually advanced. Otherwise, we should take guidance from highly advanced devotees and take these decisions in life. When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic life and engages in all kinds of sinful activity. Because he wants sense gratification, he doesn't bother what kind of activities he's engaging. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he has already received a body, which all the temporary is the cause of his misery, which means that he is not realizing that it is all that the actions that we do are very important and one should be concerned about it. Those are what kind of actions we do. Actually, living entity should not have taken on a material body, but he has been awarded the material body for sense gratification because we wanted it. Therefore, I think it not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets material bodies one after another. So it's not intelligent. It's not intelligent to engage in activities of sense gratification. We can execute activities of the body just with the intention of just doing our duty. That's all, not for sense gratification. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. All miseries arise from ignorance, the ignorance that I am this body. When we come to the platform that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, then there is no misery. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. Fruitive activity means just looking for some material outcome. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and as long as one is absorbed in material fruitive activity, he has to accept the material body. So this absorption is what we have to be worried about, not just activity. Simply doing our activity, not being absorbed, is just doing activity as a matter of duty. But when we do material activities, but we become absorbed, that is the danger. Because as long as we are absorbed, then our mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and then we'll accept a material body. So absorption has to be in Krishna. Activity can be anything. But it's very difficult for most of us to be engaged in activity but being absorbed in Krishna. So slowly, gradually, Varnashrama process has to be accepted, and then we have to give up this absorption, material absorption. When the living entity is covered by the mode of ignorance, it does not understand the individual living being and the supreme living being, and his mind is subjugated by fruitive activity. Therefore, until one has love for Lord Vasudeva, who is none other than myself, he is certainly not delivered from having to accept a material body again and again. So what Ṛṣabhadeva is saying here is, even if one is liberated, there's no guarantee. But if one has come to the platform of love of Godhead, then there is no, definitely, certainly not, certainly he will not have to accept a material body again. But otherwise, if one is a transcendentalist who has come to Brahman stage, but has not come to the stage of love of Krishna, then in all chances that he will have to accept another material body. Even though one may be very learned and wise, he is mad if he does not understand that the endeavor for sense gratification is a useless waste of time. He is mad. Being forgetful of his own interest, he tries to be happy in the material world, centering his interests around his home. This is just like all of us have experienced. Our interests are just centered around the home. Either we are thinking about people who are in the house, or we are thinking about buying something for the house. That's all. Everything is just centered around aham and mama. This is madness. And this whole thing is based on sexual intercourse, and which brings him all kinds of material miseries. And this is the Gramedi's life. Meaning he's in a family life, but his interest is sense gratification. In this way, one is no better than a foolish animal. So this is the one. The attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of the male and female, one becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. So marriage is this. Of course, I mean, this attraction between male and female is the basic principles. Cultured people get married and engage in family life. Uncultured people just engage in sense gratification outside married life. Either way, one increases life's illusions and thinks in terms of aham and mama. When the strong knot in the heart of a person implicated in material life due to the results of past action is slackened. So when the strong knot is slackened, one turns away from his attachment to home, wife, and children. In this way, one gives up the basic principle of illusion, that is aham and mama, and becomes liberated. Then one goes to the transcendental world. So after saying all this, now Ṛṣabhadeva says, what should one do to be able to achieve all this? One should accept a highly elevated Paramahamsa, a spiritual advanced spiritual master. In this way, you should place your faith and love in me. So by accepting a highly elevated Paramahamsa and following his instructions, we place our faith and love in Krishna. Please understand this. You should detest sense gratification and tolerate the duality of pleasure and pain. We should tolerate this duality of pleasure and pain. And we should detest sense gratification. Try to realize the miserable condition of living entities who are miserable even in the higher planetary systems. Philosophically inquire about the truth, then undergo all kinds of austerities and penances for the sake of devotional service. So we should go through austerities and penances, Ekadashi, not eating food outside. Like we were on Yatra and I was telling so many devotees, they're just they see something, they think anything and everything can be, there's no problem. Go to the dham, whatever you see, take it and eat it. Or even, okay, mentally I will just offer to Krishna. This is all just different ways of sense gratification, that's all. Wherever we are, whether in the dham, whether we are not in the dham, food has to be offered to Krishna. Of course, in the dham, if they are actually devotees are cooking and offering, that is a different thing. But we have to be very careful. Like even in the dham, apparently devotees just wear kantimala, wear tilak, are in not devotees. People are wearing kantimala in Vaishnava clothes, wear tilak, everything, but they are not practicing devotion. I saw some devotees who were traveling with us who are not even chanting. I mean, getting up at like 10 o'clock in the train, not chanting at all. But yeah, wearing kantimala, wearing Vaishnava clothes. So this is all just different forms of sense gratification, that's all. Give up the endeavor for sense enjoyment and engage in the service of the Lord. Listen to discussions about the Supreme Person of Godhead and always associate with devotees. Always. Not sometimes, always. Actually, our mind should be such that if we have nothing to do, we should be thinking, oh, which devotee association can I get? That's what we should be doing. Chant about and glorify the Supreme Lord and look upon everyone equally on the spiritual platform. Give up enmity and subdue anger and lamentation. Abandon identifying the self with the body and the home and practice reading the revealed scriptures. So this is all the morning program, our devotional activities program that Srila Prabhupada has given us. Live in a secluded place and practice the process by which you can completely control your life here. Of course, this is not for us. For us, it is just doing devotional activities. Have full faith in the revealed scriptures, the Vedic literatures, and always observe celibacy. Perform your prescribed duties and avoid unnecessary talks. Always thinking of the Supreme Lord, acquire knowledge from the right source. Thus, practicing Bhakti Yoga, you will patiently and enthusiastically again be elevated in knowledge and will be able to give up false ego. So, to give up false ego, we have to just be patiently and enthusiastically, we should go on practicing Bhakti Yoga. We had the great fortune of associating with disciple of Srila Prabhupada, His Grace Gurudev Prabhu. So he, even on the train, he was doing his reading at 8 o'clock in the morning, reading Bhagavatam and giving a class. He's aged, but he's so enthusiastic. It was very nice to actually see, what is the result of serious practice of Krishna consciousness. And automatically, when we engage like this over years, all our anarthas will go. But we should sincerely practice. Even though knowing, yes, I have all kinds of anarthas, but still sincerely practice Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, Ankita Mataji, you had a question?
So in Vrindavan also we are not supposed to eat, Prabhu. Outside I heard in Vrindavan everybody offers to the
No,
Lord.
no,
Okay.
no. I mean, see, nowadays it's all, everybody is looking for ways to do business, right? So we don't know if they're actually Brajavasis or if they've come from outside. Just somebody put up a stall. Who prevents one from putting up a stall or a shop? There's no guarantee. But if you know the devotee, if you know that he or she is seriously practicing Krishna consciousness and doing this to maintain their family, livelihood, whatever, then it's okay. But not just simply going and taking something off the shell of the shop and eating. Not recommended.
Okay.
And ideally cooked food, we should be really careful only. I mean, some fruits like that, okay, you can take, but that also should be offered, not mentally offered. Should be offered to Krishna. Could be sweet, like that. Unless somebody says, like, if you go within ISKCON, yeah, it would be offered. But outside, it's not offered. We have to be careful, not assume that everything is like top class.
Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. True that
Right.
in the beginning, Prabhupada wrote right that in the purport that we also have strong attraction to home, family, and
Yeah.
all activities revolve around that, right?
Mm.
So, yeah, I think we have a lot of devotees who are not actually working for just home and all, and they have completely dedicated their lives, right? So, and you are also one of those devotees, right? At being a Grahastha, you are able to basically live a Brahmanical life. So, just wanted to understand some tips like what difference you feel, right, in your life now versus what it was earlier when you were working, so that it will inspire all of us to think that it is possible, really possible to live a life which is free of those thoughts that okay, we only work for family, which is very difficult for some grastas to understand, right? I mean, sometimes the spouse doesn't understand, right? So
Mm.
will be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not so qualified to answer this question, but I can tell what I have experienced. See, for me at least, the drive for doing anything in Krishna consciousness so far at least has been every statement in Bhagavatam, every statement that Prabhupada speaks. Right? So if I see something like this, he is mad if he does not understand that the endeavor for sense gratification is a useless waste of time. Then first thing I do is I say, okay, I am mad because I'm wasting my time. Next thing that comes to my mind is I don't want to remain mad. I want to become sane. Bhagavatam doesn't consider this sanity. So then this becomes a very serious thing that I run behind, saying that now, okay, I have to stop this endeavor for sense gratification because otherwise I'm mad. I'm uselessly wasting my time. Of course, I mean, the reason why all these things one needs to take seriously is only when their goal of life is clear. So this is the first thing, which is why as somehow all the time I somehow try to inspire devotees to, that love for Krishna, that relationship with Krishna is so beautiful, so special that one should actually, become attracted by that, they should develop a desire, hankering to build a relationship with Krishna. Because that is the ulterior drive, that is ulterior motive, that is the drive, that is the impetus, that is the one which gives us enthusiasm to fight all other things, right? Like, so if we don't develop that desire to achieve perfection, to come to the platform of being accepted by Krishna, because Krishna is not going to accept anybody and everybody, right? That's the beauty. If Krishna were to accept anybody and everybody in whatever platform, whatever stage we are, then there is no motivation at all for us to work hard. Right? Like, for example, Brahmin initiation, right? Like, if suppose say, if there are no standards to be actually followed, to be actually initiated as a Brahmana, then, we will just remain conditioned. So now when it becomes, suppose a Brahmin initiation, taking Brahmin initiation requires one to live like a Brahmana, then that's a big drive. So the point I'm trying to make is, while you said what changed in your life after, I'm saying what actually was the drive for me to even think about these things, is these statements, is Prabhupada's purpose, is the instructions in Bhagavatam. Of course, I mean, once by Krishna's mercy, Guru Maharaj's mercy, this happened, then I felt satisfied that, okay, I'm able to, I'm not being stuck by I'm trying to follow at least what is being spoken here. That itself was satisfaction for me. Saying, okay, now when I read this statement, I don't feel guilty. Right? Otherwise, every statement that we read, which we are not following, should make us feel miserable, should make us feel guilty. Saying that, oh, I'm not following this. Oh, I'm not following this. And that should be, poking us. Only then we will try to do anything. And like you were saying, okay, a spouse who is not ready to understand this, I think again the key is love for Krishna, or that desire to, achieve Krishna's association, achieve Krishna's service. So for which again answer is to associate with those devotees who have that desire. And that is the reason why, it is absolutely important for all devotees to, be part of a weekly satsang program, either a temple or at a center somewhere. The whole family should participate, not just come as guests, eat and go. Should participate, engage in the service. Then the taste will slowly start. Then you will get the drive. Oh, okay, this is so nice. Now what else should I do to make sure that I can remain on this platform? Then automatically this interest around, see, when we don't have anything, obviously our natural propensity is to think about home. But also one more drive for me is, how much ever I think about home, there is always misery. One or the other person is in some kind of misery in the house. So then intelligence will say, okay, much ever I become involved in this, it's not that I'm going to have some very conducive environment. Something or the other ups and downs will always be there in material life. So it's not very great. It's not something that I am hankering for. I want blissful life, but this family life is not giving me any, I mean, it's just obstacle for my bliss. So then and the reason for that becoming an obstacle is our attachment, not just being in family. Attachment to family life is what actually disappoints us, makes us feel miserable, gives us miseries and all that. So then no point in being attached. And anyway, then the whole philosophy is saying, anyway, we are here temporarily. So why become so attached? Just do your duty. Look at every jiva in the house as a soul. Try to bring them into Krishna consciousness. That's all. So be compassionate. Care for them. And that's all. Which we do for all devotees. Why only our people? Why only our family? So then you, to tell you the truth, when you come to that stage of saying, okay, now I'm not doing anything else, I'm doing only things for the pleasure of Krishna, then we become even more worried, in the sense that, oh, now I'm doing only things for Krishna, but I'm not progressing. So then we become more serious in Krishna consciousness. Because previously we could have given ourselves a reason saying that, okay, I'm not doing full-time bhakti. So it's okay, I'm anyway like materially stuck. So, I mean, I'm not able to make fast advancement. But now when you've given up everything else, then you become even more concerned. Oh, I've given up everything else. Still, I'm not able to make much progress. What's going wrong? What's going on? Then we go even deeper, become even more serious in Krishna consciousness. And that's the impetus to move forward. And of course, I mean, it's like all devotees all came back from Yatra and everybody will be feeling so bad saying that, okay, I have to go back and you go back to work the next day. Those things are not, yeah, those things are gone. I don't have to. But then, yeah, as soon as I come back, then so much work would have accumulated. Then I'm thinking, okay, what all, how to do, etc., etc. So yeah, it's a different world altogether. It's a different world altogether. But the seriousness to want to tread that path comes only when we have developed that higher taste. Only when we want Krishna. Actually, I don't want to mince words at all. We should get attracted to Krishna. That's all. That's the bottom line. Higher taste and all is very confusing. Just we should get somehow, by hook or crook, we should be attracted to Krishna, Radha, and their service. Hook or crook.
Yeah. Yes, Roji, I think that part is very true. The part which I was trying to ask was that sometimes the fear of not able to leave the economic growth, right, which is the main perspective, why people work, why grastas work. Sometimes that also I have seen that there is an obstruction to attraction to Krishna. Like attraction to Krishna is there, but it is not allowed to go forward and intensify because there is also that practical aspect that, oh, we have to be
No,
financially.
but is that practical or is it an attachment? That's the whole point, right?
No, I
See, I
think
mean, you're also saying something that is self-contradictory, right? If you have attraction to Krishna, you can't have attraction to material.
I
Then
think
it's
this.
just some initial, like, yeah, some initial interest in Krishna. I won't call that attraction.
Mhm.
Attraction to Krishna is very strong. Nothing else can overpower you.
Yeah.
You might have some interest, okay, some liking towards devotion, Krishna, but that's not attraction. Attraction means your heart can't remain anywhere else. Your heart can't remain in engaging in material activities. You'll feel miserable. That is attraction to Krishna.
Yeah, yeah. So somehow the for grastas sometimes the problem happens where one person is completely convinced about this, but the other partner, I'm not saying that it is only the female partner or male partner, it can be anybody. So they might not get that, and unfortunately the other counterpart, that becomes very difficult situation for that person, that at one point of time they are fully convinced about the attraction to Krishna, but because of the practical aspects, in the sense like this is right now the economic world is so tough that it is not possible to basically not do anything and just not get any livelihood, right? Because that is true to some extent, unless you are obviously going to uh, complete what is that, Devi Varnashram, right? So if you go to that farm community life, then you can live that without that. But if somehow the spouse is not ready, then what should that grasta do
No,
to?
I think it's the wrong way to think about it, right? See, for me, I never thought about anybody else in the house, right? In the sense that I never thought whether my wife is as attracted as me to Krishna consciousness or Krishna, right? It was just my drive because I'm responsible for taking care of the family, right? And I can still, okay, if suppose say my financial condition is not good enough, yeah, it cannot prevent me from being attracted to Krishna. I will just do my work as a matter of duty, but my heart is not in it. That is the whole point that is being highlighted here. And how does it matter whether the spouse's heart is attracted to Krishna or not? Important thing is my heart has to get attracted to Krishna. And again, I think we should not be in this misunderstanding that everybody has to give up their jobs. See, attraction to Krishna is actually, it becomes intensified when you're in the job and when you're attracted to Krishna. It's just that separation, right? That go, it's like that gopis love, right? You want to do more for Krishna, but you don't have time. By that separation, your intensity increases. So you have to wait till your own devotion becomes so intensified that you are not able to actually sit for 1 minute doing anything apart from serving Krishna. And which has so many other implications, like for example, our attraction to food, our attraction to clothes, our attraction to money, our attraction to everything has to come down. Everything has to come down.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like it's not a half-baked scenario. You know, I mean that when we say attraction to Krishna, it just means no attraction to anything else. Anything else. Right. And till that we come to that stage of intensity, we continue our work as a matter of duty. And that takes years of sadhana. It's very serious sadhana. Right? It doesn't just happen overnight. Right? And when that intensity happens, automatically you will know. Oh, saying, okay, now it's time. Right? Then Krishna will show the path. We also have to remember that Krishna is there. If everything we only do, then where is the question of surrender to Krishna? So it's a very deep question. See, the whole point, I'm just simplifying. It's a very complex question, complex answer. Simple thing, I would want to summarize this answer by saying, intensify your attraction to Krishna. Don't worry about what your surroundings are. Don't worry about your financial condition. Don't worry about your family. Don't worry about anything else. Just you focus on intensifying your sadhana, intensifying your attraction to Krishna. Then automatically things will fall in place. Krishna is in control. He knows our heart. He will do things.
Yeah.
But that intensity is the most important thing. That absorption in Krishna is important. Right? Then things will fall in place. It's difficult if we think we are all doing everything by ourselves. It's very easy when we know and accept that Krishna is in control.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu, I have to drop off to attend some call.
Yeah, I think we are anyway done. We are done with time. Anything else, anybody? Otherwise, we'll anyway continue this. Read the verse 14 again tomorrow, just because it was a long gap. So I wanted to just recap all the teachings. Actually, this is one of the most important teachings in Bhagavatam. I mean, very, very direct, very straightforward. Right. So, okay. Anything else? Anybody? Any questions, thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Pranam,
like,
Prabhu. Prabhu, not a question, just you had informed us to hint you that from Harinama Chintamani, you have to share some few insights. Like, I mean, some
okay.
2 to 3 weeks back before Yatra
Oh, yeah.
on Nama Basa of chanting.
Okay. Yeah. But it's going to take time. Okay. So maybe just very briefly. Let's see. We have to find some other time because it will take us some time to understand. But what did I put? Let me just read the message. Well, can you? What is the message I sent?
It was Harinama Chintamani, Prabhu.
Can't find the message.
I just forwarded you, Prabhu.
Okay.